Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Erik. Erik is the most common spelling in the Scandinavian countries. The name ultimately comes from the Old Norse Eirik. Eirik is derived from the North Germanic ei, meaning ever, always, and ríkr, meaning ruler. The name was introduced to England by Scandinavian settlers during the Viking Age, 8th to 12th centuries, although the name didn't become widespread until the 19th century. While the English-speaking countries have traditionally spelled the name Erik, the Scandinavians, particularly in Sweden, favor Erik with a K. Erik/Eric was borne by many Scandinavian kings and powerful Viking warriors. Erik is also a top name in Norway, Belgium, and Hungary. In the United States and Canada, Erik, with a C, is the favored spelling. Personality of the boy name Erik. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious, and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the boy name Erik. The name Erik is the third and last most favored spelling in the United States, after Eric and Eric. Erik with a K is, however, the most true to its origin spelling. This is how they spell Erik in the Nordic countries, where the name was created in the first place. Erik first appeared on the U.S. naming charts in 1940, well after his brothers Erik and Eric. However, this spelling variation of the name has still done quite well in America. It climbed the charts, shadowing the most popular Erik. In 1971, Erik became a top 100 choice as a boy's name where it stayed for almost 25 straight years. Since the turn of the 21st century, Erik has been on a declining trend. However, if you combine the usage of all three spellings, Erik, Eric, and Eric, the name is really a top 100 favorite still. Erik has a strong and powerful resonance. Erik sounds like a guy's guy. Scandinavian names are all about Old Norse legends of strength, fortitude, and victory. We feel this in the names we borrowed from them and then adopted as our own. Erik is probably one of the truest examples of this. It's a risk-free and confident choice for any little boy. Quick facts on Erik. Gender, boy. Origin, Nordic. Number of syllables, 2. Ranking popularity, 310. Pronunciation, Eric. Simple meaning, eternal ruler, ever powerful. Characteristics of Erik. Eccentric, mystical, solitary, wise, intuitive, philosophical, imaginative. Cultural references to the baby name Erik. Literary characters of the baby name Erik. Erik is the titular character of Gaston Leroux's 1910 novel, The Phantom of the Opera, which, of course, has had many incarnations in other novels, in films, and in Andrew Lloyd Webber's famous musical of the same name. Erik has been born with a cruel and hideous deformity. As a young boy, he runs away from his family and joins a freak show, where he develops into a master magician and ventriloquist. He is also a musical composer with an unearthly beautiful voice, and, in addition to all this, a side talent for architecture. His fame spreads to Persia, and the Shah sends for him and bids him to build an elaborate palace for him. So pleased is the Shah by the result that he orders Erik's execution so that he may never build another for anyone else. Erik escapes and makes his way to France, where he works on the construction of the Paris Opera House, managing to build secret chambers and passageways for himself. It is here where he falls in love with the beautiful singer Christine Daae. She, hearing him from outside her dressing room, thinks she is hearing the angel of music her father had told her about, and grows into an accomplished singer under his tutelage. All this while, she is rekindling a relationship with a childhood friend, the handsome and wealthy Raoul, Viscount of Chagny. Eric kidnaps Christine in the hopes that she will come to love him, and she is beginning to have feelings for him when she unmasks him and sees him in his true state. Eric is jealous and humiliated, but he allows Christine to go, after she had, in fact, agreed to marry him in order to save her beloved Raoul. All the Phantom asks is that Christine bury him when he dies. She gives him his first kiss, and her promise, and she fulfills this promise 3 weeks later when Eric dies of a broken heart. Though he is a tortured soul, whose self-loathing has rendered him capable of deceptions and murders, our poor Eric is also a victim of fate's random arrows. In the end, he rises above his baser self and allows Christine to leave and his other intended victims to live. There is nothing left for him but to die. If all of this is just too much to take on for a name for a little child, rest assured. In the novel, we are told, Eric is not the Phantom's real birth name, but one assumed later. Famous people named Eric. Erik Erikson, psychologist who came up with the term identity crisis, a per thousand Rick Comas, race car driver, Henry Enrique Eric Estrada, actor, Eric Morales, boxer, Eric, multiple Scandinavian royalties, Eric Watts, wrestler, Eric Santos, singer/actor,